Hey gang, it's Seth. Happy Tuesday. Um, just made a previous video again. I've been gone for a while, so I'm sorry for that. A little bit, not totally sorry. Um, but if any of you missed my content that much, that it's just been detrimental, then I am sorry. Um, with that said, I do want to say to a couple of you that had reached out by various means, I appreciate it. Um, But now that I'm back on the horse, I want to go for a ride. I want to talk about the transgender military restrictions. So, yeah, I'm late, but better late than never. I'm going to shrink myself down a little bit. Let's do right there. I think that should be good. But I want to talk about um, the concept of it. And for the most part, I agree with it. And by for the most part, I mean I can't think of any reason it's an issue. Um, And so let me start on some things. Whether you agree or disagree, I'm sure a lot of you have heard one of the more prevalent sources cited or pieces of evidence that talks about the mental health argument, and I agree with that. Um, right now, with my depression and PTSD, I would probably not be able to go in. There's lots of other conditions. Um, well, let me backtrack a little, and something I hear is that the rights of LBG whatever QTS ABLMNOP are their rights are being revoked. It's not. It's not a right. It is a privilege. Um, Lots of people are not allowed to join. There are lots of reasons that bar you from joining. Lots of people get kicked out for things. Heck, I was kicked out because of my medical conditions that were stacking up. And there are a plethora of people, specifically just bringing up one narrow avenue with physical disabilities that can't join. Is it oppression? Are we targeting these handicapped people and trying to take away their rights? No, you can't take away something that's not a right regardless, but there is also reasons of substance why handicapped people with certain conditions are not allowed to join, and some others are. Like if you have glasses, that's you can't see as well. You can join. There's a myriad of things that can be waived or just not even on the radar of what they care about. So again, are handicapped people in that regard being targeted? Are old people getting targeted? Are because they can't join after a certain age? No. Um, but of course, to liberals, those things are always different. There's so again, um, that's one of the reasons you can be kicked out. You could I'm sorry, the whole mental part is one of the pieces of evidence that people use that is easily refuted. Um, then you hear people talk about the cost of surgery and all that, and once again, I'm in agreement. Um, there's a fact that those opting to go into surgery are considered non-deployable. And I've heard differing numbers from different branches, from different people saying they're for X amount of time or whatever. And either way, nope. You're making an investment on something which is that person. And if you're investing in them and already losing on that investment because the moment they get the chance they're going to get that surgery, it's you're wasting time and money that they're spending on you. On a personal level, um, if you have X amount of people who join and opt for this surgery and are non-deployable, what does that mean for everybody else who is deployable? That means I, hypothetically, Corporal Orzakowski, serving in the military, is now going to have to do 2, maybe 3 deployments because Joe decided to join the military, opted into surgery, has X amount of time where he's non-deployable, if he's deployable at all. Again, I've heard conflicting reports, but I'm going to operate under the assumption that they will not hire people or enlist people who they know will never deploy. I can't see the military doing that. Hopefully they're not that stupid. But either way, similarly to pregnancies, it's a big taboo thing to talk about, but I'm someone who believes that once you get pregnant in the military, I don't want to say suffer as in you should be punished, but I think you should be kicked out because already you're going to be out for 9 months, not including any kind of postpartum child care, anything like that. What does that mean? A 9-month deployment that you cannot do I'm going to have to do again. I may have just rotated back. That's why you have guys who have done handfuls, half a dozen deployments, and others have done none because of things like this. And this is going to be another way where me and the person next to me are going to have different requirements based on those things. Well, opt out. You don't join the military to get a surgery. You join it to defend your country. You should join it knowing you're going to deploy and expecting to deploy. And if you don't, then go find another job. Go find another way to pay for your surgery. Is it insensitive? I don't know. I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. Now, the other thing I want to address is the whole idea, and I'm not super familiar with the term. I think the term is gender fluidity, or being gender fluid, but I'm going to use gender fluidity. And how this presents a unique problem that is not, I haven't heard this talked about anywhere. So I hope this resonates. I hope it makes sense. Please let me know if I just lose you with this. As a man, I have a different set of requirements than females in the Marines. Everything from uniform attire, grooming standards, PFT and CFT scores, the way that you address others, the way others address you. All those things differ based on your gender. So what if today I wake up and I look like this, okay? And I go into the workshop, don't cut my hair like I'm supposed to. Then when my sergeant comes in and blasts me, Corporal Ski, what do you think you're doing? Oh, actually, Sergeant, today I identify as a female, so I don't have to cut my hair. What point is that, or is that not valid? I'd probably flip out on someone trying to pull that, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not in anymore. The point is, at what point does this gender fluidity become a hindrance, a problem? So now, again, what if I'm walking through the squad bay and I see an officer come by? Put my hand up, good morning, sir. And that officer stops and rips into me because that officer today identifies as a female. At that point, I just disrespected an officer and I'm subject to punishment under the UCMJ. How do I know that? How do I know, do they have a light on them? No. The point is, these are things that people don't talk about. Because and this is my assumption, but part and parcel of accepting transgender people is to accept the entire package, which they're going to say there's a gender fluidity. They identify as this today. They may not identify as that tomorrow. The best way to chop through the tape and the who and the what you are today and what you feel and what I should address, don't even allow it. Boom. Problem solved. Now I don't have to worry about it. I know I see your cover. It's a male cover, so I know that you're a male. I see the bun on the back of your head, so I know that you identify as a female. I see the different shorts, the earrings, for example, all these things that females are allowed to do that males aren't, and vice versa. Oh, okay, I know. I'm not going to have to. Good morning, sir, or ma'am, depending on how you identify today. No, just good morning, sir, good morning, ma'am. The other thing is PFTs, and this is why I brought this window up. But so if there's a PFT today, which is a physical fitness test, which I'm going to run 3 miles, I'm going to do pull-ups, and I'm going to do crunches. No, you won't. If you're a girl, you're going to do crunches and the run and then flex arm hangs. Now, this is what I talk about when things start getting into what you identify and how you're going to be graded. What if today I just, you know what? I don't really feel like running fast, so I identify as a female today. Why is that important? Scroll down here. And as you can see right here, what is this word? This is the physical fitness test results for a male. Scroll down, and I want you to notice one thing here real quick. Well, I'm not going to go through I'm going to give you a super crash course, but you see this pull-ups, okay? And I want you to see the minimum. So a man has 33 minutes to run 3 miles to get the lowest score possible, which will not be, at that point, if you go below that, you fail, okay? Here we have the PFT scores for females. Oddly enough, we're non-gendered. We're about equal opportunity, equal representation, but they get their own thing. Flex arm hangs. They don't do pull-ups. I believe that they can, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'll show here and go back up. You see 21 minutes. That means a woman has 21 minutes to run 3 miles to get a perfect 100 score. Okay, you see right here, points. So if you run 21 minutes or less, you get 100. As a man, if I run 21 minutes, I have 82 points. Okay, that means women have an advantage. Men have 33 minutes. Women have, survey said, 36 minutes. So an additional 3 minutes. So where does all this come into play with what I'm talking about? If today I just don't feel like trying that hard, well, guess what? I just today identify as a woman. Right? These are problems that, and now the relevancy to these PFT scores is when you get promoted in the military, it's based on an accumulation of points based on time in service, time in grade, MCIs, rifle scores, blah blah blah. There's a lot of things, but this is one of the things that comes into play. So a woman has an extra, what was it, 23 minutes, 21. So she has an extra 3 minutes to get that 100 score that I don't. How is that going to work out? Is it they come in as a man, they change into a woman? Do they, and how fair is that to other females? It just reminds me of, you hear stories right now of people who are in high school sports on a woman's running team, but this guy I'm sorry, he can't be called a guy, but he identifies as a female. So what does he do? He outruns females. Why? Because males are physically different from females. I'm not going to say they're superior because it's different things, different anatomy, blah blah blah. But the point is, because the argument could be made, women are superior to men because physically they're less likely to get a myriad of different diseases, conditions, medical things, because their double X chromosomes are more intact, and our Y chromosome makes us more susceptible to it. So am I saying we're superior? No. I'm going to say that most of us can run faster and we're stronger. But the point is, at what point do you acknowledge the fact that this is something that can be taken advantage of, and at what point do you view it like me, which is the best solution is not to come up with another entire 600-page manual of how to deal with transgender people? You know what? Don't worry about it. Let them do something else. If it's their dream to be in the military, then identify as a man or identify as a woman. Is it your so again? If I'm a 19-year-old just graduated high school, my dream has always been a Marine, but I'm worried about my gender fluidity, whatever. Well, what's more important to me? My dream of being a Marine or being acknowledged as whatever letter of the LGBTQ alphabet I decide on being today or this week or whatever. And if that's your decision, that is your decision. It's not, no one is taking anything away from you. That's your decision, and you need to take the responsibility and accept the consequences of the decisions that you make, and not blame everybody else for them, not claim oppression, not claim systematically stripping rights away from you or whatever. There's a lot more I could talk about this, but it branches off out of the transgender thing. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Again, sorry I'm late. I hope that you all have a great day, and go easy, gang.